Our mini lecture today deals with Module 20 and Nature and Nurture in Psychology. Nature and Nurture. We are going to look at what that is. But as you can see here, we've got a set of twins. Two boys. One of them looks preppy, and one of them does not. And the father's scratching his head going, what in the world happened here? Okay? So let's look at nature and nurture and what it is. Behavior genetics are the main foundation function of nature and nurture in psychology. Behavior genetics focuses on genes and environmental influence that create individual differences within each and every one of us. Genes are the biochemical units of heredity that make up our chromosomes. We all have 46 chromosomes within us, and we get 23 from our mother and 23 from our father that help to make up our genes. The environment that we are in, though, contributes to the nurture. Nature deals with your genes, your biological heredity. Environment, though, is your influence from prenatal nutrition to people and things around you. Does not have to be genetic, but in your culture, your family, and your socioeconomic group. That is your nurture. So nature deals with your genetics. Nurture deals with your upbringing. That's your main focus here. So nature deals with that genetic code that is passed from parent to child, while nurture deals with all the influences that your parent involvement is. I'm shaped a lot by how my parents raised me. Everyone is shaped by how they are brought up and their beliefs with that. Now, chromosomes, as I mentioned earlier, you have 46 chromosomes. 23 come from your mother, 23 come from your father. And this is what creates your DNA. Here's an example of someone's chromosomes. Now, if you look at this, can you tell, is this a male or a female? If you look very closely at the next to last row at the bottom all the way to the right, this is a male because you have an X and a Y chromosome. Now, DNA is what is your genetic makeup. This makes up your chromosomes and where your genetics come from. This determines your eye color, your hair color, etc. Males get their hair from their mother's side of the family. So, if you are a male and your mom's father has a full set of hair, you most likely will have a full set of hair when you get older. If your mom's father is bald-headed, it's very likely that you will be bald-headed. My mom's brother is bald-headed, and my great-grandfather was bald-headed. But my mom's father has a full head of hair, and I most likely will have a full head of hair. That's part of DNA and where we get that from. Our skin color and eye color are also part of our DNA. Mutation is random errors that occur, though, which means that you are unique and individual, and not everybody is the exact same. Okay, these are sometimes they're desirable, sometimes it's not. This also can happen with birthmarks and everything within you too with your mutation. Predisposition, though, is what's going to happen through genetic code. And that's what I just explained with the hair color and everything, and your whether you have full head of hair or not. This is predisposition and the possibility of what would happen through a genetic code that goes down through traits. Sometimes this can be different, though. Okay. Now, twins, on the other hand, identical twins develop from a single fertilized egg that splits in two. You create two identical organisms. Now, are they the exact same? Bodily, yes. Mentally, no. That would be nurture. And I've had plenty of twins that were in my classes in school that were identical. And sometimes you cannot tell them apart. Later on, you could. Look at these girls. You can tell they are identical twins. One's got her hair pulled back and one's clothed a little more than the other. But, as you can see, this is what they are of the same sex. So they're either going to be girls or they're going to be boys. You have basically the sperm and the egg meet together. The cell splits and you have same sex two babies. Okay. Now, fraternal twins are twins who develop from two different fertilized eggs. They're no more similar than any other two siblings, but they share the fetal environment and they share the same birthday, the same age, and everything. My next door neighbor has fraternal twins, a boy and a girl. You would not know that they were twins. One of the boy is taller than the girl. Don't even look like it. You would think they're totally born at different times. But what happens here? You got two eggs that are fertilized by two different sperm, and they can be the same or opposite sex. Heritability is what you inherit, the traits that you inherit from one parent. And I think this is actually pretty funny because the mom's asking, why are you so obnoxious? And the child's like, heredity. Obviously, the mother was obnoxious here. But these are individual characteristics can be attributed. I'm told that I act like a lot like my mother, and I'm a lot like her. Right? And that's what part of heritability is, so your actions and things that you do. Okay. As far as adoption, you can see there are, with adoption studies, people have been studied that have been adopted. And the biggest thing here with this, you've got the biological genes of the parents that your mother and birth father, but yet you act like the people that you have been adopted by. And you have their lifestyle and their way of doing things. You've got the biological, the nature and all of your birth parents, but you could be totally different, and that's the nurture from your adoptive parents, and everything. And this is pretty much, this is attributed to the environment that you were raised in. That's the nurture part. Brain development is that you pretty much, neural connections to the brain, the more your brain is developed, the more active you are, the more you do, the more engaged you're going to be, and the longer that you're going to have all your brain functions. As we can see here with rats, when you have an impoverished environment just by yourself and all, your brain doesn't grow as much. But yet, you've got a rat who's got every opportunity there is, the ladders, the opportunity, big cage and all, and their brain will grow a little bit more. You also, with nurture, are going to be influenced by your peers. Peer pressure is a huge thing, especially with teenagers. Studies suggest that peer groups can determine if someone decides to smoke, if someone decides to act up, or however they are. When I was in college, I surrounded myself by people who were in the honors college. I had friends who made something of themselves in life and pushed forward, and that's why I contribute a lot with that part there. I had good friends, and I was brought up in a great household as well. Parental influences are a major part of your life, and you were influenced by your parents a lot. Education-wise, discipline, responsibility, orderliness, charitableness, interacting with authority. My mother always pushed me to do well in school. My father did too. One thing I remember, my mother wanted me to read during first grade during the summer all the time, and I didn't necessarily want to do it. My dad said, he doesn't need to read, let him enjoy his vacation. Mom said, if he doesn't continue to read, he will not learn. My mother pushed me, and that's why I did good in education, to be able to push forward. They want me to have opportunities that other people didn't, that they themselves did not have. Culture is also going to have a big distinction with your beliefs, norms, and behaviors that you do. And this is nurture, way you're brought up, your religious beliefs, your communication beliefs, how you do certain things and what you believe. And lastly, the norms, the rules for accepted and expected behavior. This is dealing with nurture. Nature deals with our genetics. Nurture is what was right, what's wrong, and what is proper behavior in society. What one person may believe is proper behavior might not be for another. Okay? And that's with cultural norms. And that is our mini lecture today on nature and nurture.